guys, so today we're doing a video which is a one topic video because something's been happening lately and it's kind of crazy. I've spoken about this person before and I've had a run with this person. I'm going to get into all of that in the video, but before we get into it, like I mentioned before, a lot of people have been getting unsubscribed. I'm getting hundreds of comments saying that they were subscribed, they saw me on the homepage, they clicked on my video, I reminded them, they looked down and they weren't subscribed. So scroll down, make sure that you still are subscribed if you were subscribed and you don't remember unsubscribing. And if you're a new person, also consider subscribing if that's something you want to do. Also, turn on post notifications to all rather than just personalized or none, and then you're more likely to find out when I'm actually posting a video right around the time when I do post it rather than a few days later. Social media links, second channel, which I have, it's a beauty-based channel, will be in description, along with anything else that you might want to find out, including some links to research I've done based on this person. So today we're talking about Without a Crystal Ball, also known as Katie Joy, and I'll be referring to her as either of those really, either Katie or Without a Crystal Ball. I think I'll be sticking to Katie because it's a little bit less of a mouthful. Just as a bit of a backstory, and if Katie does, and she already has tried to go on her live stream and make me look like the bad guy in this situation. I have all the proof for, I've downloaded the live stream before. I don't know if I think she's deleted it, but I have it downloaded. I have two separate folders. I have Without a Crystal Ball for this situation, and then I have Without a Crystal Ball for the past situation I've had with her, with receipts for all emails, all of her tweets before she deleted them, all of her interactions with other YouTubers about me, YouTubers that find any reason to dislike me, even if it means agreeing with Without a Crystal Ball. So I have all of that. I have emails, I have her live stream, I have comments, I have a bunch of proof about my situation with her, which was about a year into my YouTube channel. I posted a video, well, less than a year into my YouTube channel, I think. I posted a video where I messed up and I put her article in there in full without crediting her or kind of transforming it too much, so it wasn't transformative content. And you know, she was within her rights to take money from me, but instead of doing that, she ended up copyright striking me, which means within 3 months I had another copyright strike. I wouldn't be able to upload for 7 days, and then if within those 3 months I had another copyright strike, my channel would be deleted. My channel would just be terminated, the whole thing. Yeah, she was within her rights to do that, but if you want respect from your fellow YouTubers, courtesy would be give a copyright claim. If you guys don't know, copyright strike is, like I said, you know, you delete someone's channel, you're putting them at risk, because actually, just add on top of that, putting a copyright strike on someone's channel might as well be terminating their channel, because no one can see how many strikes you already have, if that makes sense. That's not public knowledge. So I could have already had 2 strikes on my channel, so her adding that strike on would have been the termination of my channel. So her putting a strike on my channel is essentially the same thing as terminating my channel, because you, Katie, did not see how many strikes I already had, just to make that clear. So I think that's why people are so upset when people use the copyright strike system, because you don't know how many strikes someone already has and you don't know if this is their only source of income, so you're essentially just putting someone out of the job if you give them a copyright strike, even if it's just one. She could have given me a copyright claim, which instead is Katie Joy just saying, I want all the monetization from your video, and then I could have made the decision of either editing the bit out of my video or keeping it in and then giving her all of the money. And in the same sense, I could have just added her into my description and it all would have been well. But when you give a copyright strike, I automatically lose all control over that video. I can't edit it, I can't add anything to description, I can't even see it. So when she was like, oh well, you have to credit me first and then I'll take the strike off, that made no sense, because I had zero control over that video at that point. It literally just said unavailable on my, or whatever it says, you know, you literally can't edit anything. I couldn't see the description, I couldn't see the title, I couldn't see how many views it has. It just became unavailable to me the moment she striked it. So I couldn't fix it and she couldn't fix it, and we were in like a deadlock, right? Where it was like she wanted something from me, but I couldn't do it because she didn't want to release the strike. But she claims, right, that she didn't do it because she didn't trust me, and fair enough, she has no reason to trust me, she doesn't know me, but what she could have done is release the strike and then just automatically put a claim on, and either way, she's still in control of the situation. But being petty was the better option in this situation. So obviously I emailed her, I offered to pay her. I was like, hey, I'll calculate how many views it had and I'll just like PayPal you or transfer you the money. She said no. And then she on Twitter insinuated that I was bribing her, which if she then tries to say that that is a lie, like I said, I have a folder full of, when I say full of, I mean full of receipts. So every single tweet that Katie has posted about me is in that folder. So Katie, if you're watching this, don't lie, there's no point because the tweets are there. Anyway, she insinuated I was trying to give her money under the table, which insinuates bribery, which wasn't the case. I literally wanted to give her what she was asking for, aka credit and money. I don't see what you want from me, Katie. And when I first mentioned this story, I made myself look like the idiot. I was like, guys, I am the dummy in this situation. And she got really angry over it because people thought, oh, like, yeah, you are the dummy in this situation, but she should have reacted a bit differently. And I was like, you guys are right. but I was still the dummy. And then she started a whole thing. She streamed about me, she tweeted about me, she tried to interact with people that hate me, because that's where people flock together. You know, the moment they feel wronged by me, they just flock together. She did all of that. She basically tweeted that I tried to bribe her. And then later on, people tagged me in threads where she did the exact same thing. She got copyright striked by someone or copyright claimed, either way. And then she tried to pay them to release that strike, and they said no, and then she got really angry about it. As if that's not the same thing she did to me. I'm losing my sanity here. Okay, guys. So that was my run-in with Katie. It wasn't very positive, and since then I've had a very negative outlook on her because I think things just didn't look good. And then I started noticing her quite clear vendetta against Tati Westbrook. I think with my accent I say Tati, but then Americans say Tati, and then I don't really know where to stand with my accent. Anyway, Tati Westbrook. There's a vendetta. There is a hatred for Tati. For example, this tweet that she posted right after she got sued, or right before she got sued. I can't remember exactly the things. I'll check the timestamps. Isn't that a bit petty? Like, I don't. Okay. Without a crystal ball, Katie was reporting on the fact that Tati was being sued by one of her business partners, which is fair enough. We all spoke about it. But before then, Katie looked deep and far into Tati's personal life, as well as Tati's husband, James's personal life. From this point onwards, when I refer to James, James is Tati's husband. If I say James Charles, that'll be James Charles. But if I say just James, let's just assume that I'm mentioning Tati's husband. It's very confusing. She looked deep and far into Tati's and James's career. It's on Twitter. You can watch the clips. It's also on one of my favorite subreddits right now, Without a Crystal Ball. So guys, I don't know if they hate me over there, because some subreddits really do have a little hate button for me, which is fine. Go off. But this subreddit, even if they hate me, is great. I got a lot of my information from there because when this whole situation was happening, I didn't think to start screenshotting from the beginning. And then I only started screenshotting when it started going really insane, like from the halfway point. But all the tweets before then I got from the subreddit, because Without a Crystal Ball has now deactivated her Twitter account. I wonder if it's because she doesn't want people to screenshot her tweets, which too late. So I got a lot of my information from Without a Crystal Ball. I also got a lot of information about her past from a few videos on YouTube. I'll try to link as much as I can below. So she was reporting on the ins and outs of Tati's and James's lives, including James's situation with his family, which, I mean, just because you see a court case and you see the outcome of a court case does not mean that you see what was actually happening behind the scenes. How many times are court cases essentially judged wrong because there is not enough information? You know, the judge doesn't see what was happening behind the scenes. I'm not saying James was innocent. I'm just saying, you know, to judge the whole situation by the outcome of one court case is silly. Then insinuated that he has like a long list of criminal situations, including 2 drug charges from when he was a teenager. Yes, I do understand that, you know, if you're like in your late teens, you know better, but at the same time, this was 30 years ago. She also heavily looked into Tati. She basically said that she's selling snake oil, and because of that, she decided to pay to get Tati's birth certificate, very personal information, like paid to get into like her actual documents, which is insane to me. I don't know how obsessed you have to be with someone to do that. Like, I understand we're all drama channels, we love the tea, I love gossip, trust me, I love it. I live for waking up in the morning and seeing that really petty, I don't want like the serious stuff, but I love seeing that petty things are happening. Like a little petty drama with tweets and little sub-tweets. Oh my god, I live for it. It's so fun. It's funny. It's kind of like how back in the day, like paparazzi would follow Paris Hilton around and see what kind of drama and relationships she was getting into, and everyone was eating it up. It's the same thing now, just with YouTubers, and we're all living for it, you know? But I don't then look into, I don't know, James Charles's personal documents. I don't pay to see his birth certificate because I'm not interested enough. I don't care enough. And it's a level of obsession that is concerning to me. She is obsessed with Tati, and that is my opinion on the matter. I think she has an unhealthy obsession, and I don't know what it's fueled by, but if I had to take a guess, it would be jealousy. I think she is jealous, at least back then when she started getting into Tati. I think it was a jealousy over what Tati had achieved and knowing that Katie was probably not going to achieve it. I mean, not many of us are ever going to achieve the kind of level of success that Tati had at her peak. Even now she's on like, what, 9 million subs? It's a number that I could only dream of achieving. The views that she was getting daily, like I mentioned in my last video, I mean 2 million views a video at least, and she was posting daily. Like imagine if I was getting 10 to 15 million views a week. My best month on YouTube is less than what Tati was getting a week on a regular basis. Like that is incredible, right? And I think there was a level of possibly jealousy. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Why is Without a Crystal Ball obsessed with Tati? I want to know. She had posted a bunch of videos about Tati, and that's not to say there was an obsession. I mean, we as drama channels also make a lot of titles about the same person. But like I said, it's never so deep into that person. I'd compare Katie to Sanders Kennedy. There is a obsession with being the one to have exclusive tea. There is an obsession with being the one to break the story. And there is an obsession with credit. And the credit is there because they want to be the one to be the breaker of the story. And if you don't credit them, it makes them look like they didn't break the story. And they have an obsession with being the ones to have the exclusive tea and break the tea. That is my opinion on the matter. I'm not going to keep on repeating that. You guys know that this is all my opinions, because unlike Katie, I don't present facts as opinions. She has a tendency of doing that, and the way I'm going to back this opinion up is through the fact that Katie just got sued by Tati for just that, presenting opinions as facts. Now we're going to get into the whole lawsuit, because there are pages on pages on pages of proof and quotes and video titles and video timestamps of times when Katie allegedly spread misinformation about Tati. And I'm not going to get into all of that. I'll try to find the lawsuit and link it down below, or try to find someone who has broken down the lawsuit. Oh, also, in my last video, you guys commented a lawyer finally looked at the lawsuit against Tati and James, and she broke it all down, and she's hilarious. I watched the whole video, so I'll link that below as well. I have a lot of things to link down below, and I always forget to do one, let alone this many, so I'll try my best. She is being sued in the broad sense for defamation. That's kind of like the broad umbrella. I'm sure there's more things that the lawyer tagged on, but defamation is like the main, I guess, like umbrella term that I'd use for all of this. Katie has mentioned that she's had cease and desist from Tati before, and I think she mentioned there was 4 of them. So imagine receiving that many cease and desists and still going, knowing how loaded, like how rich Tati is. You know, like if you get served a cease and desist by someone who is quite clearly very rich, you should probably give up, even if you think you're in the right. Like just for your own financial stability, you should probably not go ahead with continuing to say the things that you don't want you to say. James Charles warned her about this. Like there were DMs, I spoke about this a few videos ago, there were DMs between James Charles and Katie where James Charles warns her that if she doesn't stop and she doesn't take all the videos down, she is going to get sued. She took the videos down, and then her ego and her pride bubbled over, and she was like, nope, I'm putting the videos back up, and here we are, with her being officially sued. So she put out an official statement regarding the lawsuit, and I'm going to get into it. So she said, my statement on Tati Westbrook lawsuit. I forgot to put on my glasses, and this font is tiny, so let me get my spectacles. Tati and James Westbrook have, I literally cannot see. Hold on, guys. Okay, hello guys. Wow, that is HD. Wow. Why don't I ever wear my glasses? This is crazy. I've just gone from like 480 pp to like 1080. I haven't worn these in so long. Oh my god. I am blind. So here we are. Maybe this is why I get migraines. I'm spilling the tea on myself right now. Tati and James Westbrook have filed a lawsuit. This is so much easier. Why haven't I done this before when I needed to read receipts? Okay. Tati and James Westbrook have filed a lawsuit against me for defamation. I have not been served in this case. The filing alleges emotional distress and defamation for reporting on James Westbrook's multiple lawsuits for fraud in California and Hawaii. The lawsuit also alleges that I harmed Miss Westbrook's reputation and is reason for why she is no longer on YouTube. My initial reporting outlined a lawsuit filed against Mr. Westbrook by his sisters alleging fraud related to their deceased mother's estate. In the lawsuit filed in district court in Hawaii case 114 yada yada yada. His sister alleged that he convinced his mother to sign a quit-claim deed of her property to him while she was gravely ill. His sister also alleged that after Mr. Westbrook filed the quit-claim deed and became sole owner of the property in the days before his mother passed away. After obtaining ownership of the property, his sister alleged that he took out numerous loans against the property. Mr. Westbrook's sister, Cheryl, provided an affidavit in court that his mother did not have a will and the children all shared a third ownership to all property she left after her death. Mr. Westbrook denied his sister's claims. A judge in Hawaii ordered that Mr. Westbrook pay attorney fees and the estate management was awarded to his sister. A second lawsuit filed in California by William Hawk alleged that Mr. Westbrook took out a $290 loan and used his mother's property as collateral. Mr. Hawk stated in the complaint that Mr. Westbrook never paid him back. Mr. Westbrook has denied the claims. The court case is still ongoing and is scheduled for trial in 2021. A third lawsuit was filed against Tati and James Westbrook in California on October 20th, 2020. In the lawsuit, Clark Swanson alleges that the Westbrooks defrauded and breached their business contract. Mr. Swanson alleges due to their actions, the couple opened businesses that were in breach of contract of their business and resulted in Mr. Swanson not receiving millions of dollars for the launch of her cosmetics line. Mr. Swanson also alleges that Mr. Westbrook coffered the company assets of Halo Beauty on October 9th, 2020, which Mr. Swanson alleges harmed the members' business and devalued the company. Tati Westbrook uploaded a video titled By Sister in May 2019, asserting that her husband James was a successful businessman and suggested through his advice to James Charles helped propel his career. However, in the same video, Miss Westbrook accused James Charles of misconduct. In May 2020, Miss Westbrook publicly apologized to James Charles and asserted that she had been manipulated by Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson about the claims of sexual misconduct. She also asserted that James Charles promoting Sugar Bear hair vitamins was not a motivation for her video. However, in the court filings of Clark versus Westbrook and Westbrook, Mr. Swanson claims that Miss Westbrook used her celebrity status and YouTube influence to convince him to give up 16.66% ownership of the company to make the Westbrooks majority owners. Mr. Swanson alleges that Miss Westbrook promised him that James, among other YouTube friends, would not promote competitors and only promote Halo Beauty vitamins. Mr. Swanson alleges her promise to him was undercut when Mr. Charles uploaded a swipe up for a Sugar Bear hair ad in April 2019. At this time in review of the lawsuit, my attorney is confident the allegations they've made against me are baseless and without merit. We are exploring legal options and are considering filing a countersuit at this time. Freedom of speech and freedom of the press allows the media to report on the matters of public interest and enables a person to give their opinion based upon information they have found. At no time in my reporting have I ever knowingly made false statements about the Westbrooks, nor has my reporting been done with malicious intent, but rather to provide insight into a public story that Miss Westbrook made public by uploading By Sister and obtaining more than 40 million views for the video. Miss Westbrook is alleging that her absence from social media is due to actions that I have taken against her. However, my reporting of this story has been based upon public records, sources, and my opinion based upon the public story, none of which is done with malice. At no point does Miss Westbrook acknowledge that her video By Sister and subsequent video Breaking My Silence and large public backlash could be a large reason she is not online. The Westbrooks falsely accuse me of being a troll and that I have created fake accounts to harass them and others. This is categorically false. The Westbrooks accuse me of being fired from Pathos for improper conduct. This is categorically false. The lawsuit accuses me of improper conduct and many other false statements. They are seeking $5 million from me. In the lawsuit, Clark Swanson versus Tati and James Westbrook, Mr. Swanson alleges that the couple started a cosmetics line outside of their business agreement with Halo Beauty. In the lawsuit, Mr. Swanson alleges the Westbrooks earned around $16 million for the sale of palette and deprived him of a third revenue of the palette, which is just over $5 million. Is Katie now insinuating that the reason that they are suing her for $5 million is so that they can get $5 million from her and pay that $5 million to Mr. Swanson? But is also Katie insinuating that she has $5 million laying around? Because I know a bit or two about YouTube. I know how many views I get, and I know how many views Katie gets. I know how much money I make, and I can take a gander, a wild guess about how much money Katie makes, and she sure as hell does not have $5 million laying around unless she's a trust fund baby. If you're a trust fund baby, fine. If your parents are loaded, great. But when it comes to YouTube revenue, you sure as hell do not have $5 million, and that is my opinion. My opinion is you sure as hell don't have $5 million. So that would make no sense, because obviously if they sue you for $5 million and you don't have $5 million and they win the lawsuit, you're just going to file for bankruptcy because you will have nothing to pay them with. Right? That's how it goes. So they're not actually going to get this money from you. They're not expecting to get this money from you because they don't think you have it. None of us think you have it. Unless you do. Prove me wrong, Katie. So that was her statement. She posted a few streams about this lawsuit that are now taken down. Now there was I'm Okay and there was another live stream which I did download just in case she takes that one down as well. I have it. On one of them, she posted a pinned comment saying this lawsuit is going to be very expensive. If you guys are interested in helping, please consider using PayPal. This is of course your choice and you are not obligated. Now, whichever video she put this under, either the stream doesn't exist if it was under the I'm Okay stream, and if it was under the like nothing's gonna change stream, then those comments have now been turned off because her like to dislike is really bad. So I'm assuming people are heavily criticizing her right now. She then goes on a wild spree of tweets. Let me read a few of them out to you. I would hate to live in a world where having an opinion about public figures means they can sue you for everything. My Twitter is my opinion and my disclaimer in all my videos are that these videos are for entertainment, my opinion, and should not be taken as fact. But when you present things as fact, they will be taken as fact. When you say Tati is selling snake oil, so I paid for her birth certificate, that to me sounds like a fact. That to me sounds like you did the research, and from that research you found out that Tati is selling snake oil. And when I watch a commentary channel or a drama channel, I assume that what they're telling me is the truth. If they present something as fact, I'm going to assume that they researched it enough to be sure that it is a fact, because that's what drama channels and commentary channels are there for. So for you to be like, oh, it's all my opinion. But in reality, you sit there and you go, oh, Tati's selling snake oil. Like, that's not an opinion. That is you presenting your opinion as fact. And that is what you're being sued for. That is quite literally what it says in the lawsuit. In the lawsuit, it says that you have presented opinions as facts and they are done with malice. And we can tell it's done with malice because you hate Tati. There are situations where you call her a demon. Like, what? Who does that? I don't know. Anyway, my channel is Without a Crystal Ball. You will find commentary and opinions on trending topics. All of my videos state that I am a commentary channel and my content should not be considered fact. Please subscribe for further updates on this issue. I mean, of course, use that to get more subs. My previous tweet about the lawsuit was deleted earlier today due to a typo about the reporting of the lawsuits. I reported on allegations of lawsuits filed against Mr. Westbrook, included his denial, and also reported on orders from the court. All lawsuits are allegations. Here is an example of what they say I said false. The lawsuit accuses James Westbrook of liquidating hundreds of thousands of dollars of Halo Beauty's assets on October 10th, 2020 as the Westbrooks learned about the case, effectively devaluing the company. Tati Westbrook has filed a lawsuit against me for defamation. I'll be providing a detailed overview of the allegations. I have not been served in the case. My attorney in this case is confident the claims are baseless. We are confident the case is without merit. Their filing is on the heels of their business partner suing them for breach of contract, conversion, and fraud. Mr. Westbrook is facing a second lawsuit for fraud in California, William Hawk versus James Westbrook, for failure to pay back a loan of $290,000. I had initially considered privatizing videos made by the Westbrooks and removing public statements. However, on the advice of my attorney, find a new attorney, I intend to keep all remaining statements public, which is now false. She has now deleted her Twitter account and also privatized all of those videos. So clearly, she either found herself a different attorney or that attorney now said, hey, actually, I lied to you. We don't have a case. I suggest you get rid of everything, which I'm sure is kind of useless at this point, because if Tati has now filed this lawsuit and she has included titles and timestamps and all of that, I'm sure she has downloaded all of those videos. However, on the advice of my attorney, I intend to keep all remaining statements public. I have reported on public records and exercised freedom of speech on a public matter. In the lawsuit, Tati Westbrook alleges that it is because of me that she is offline and not because of any action she may have taken or the result of her video by sister. Now I went on Without a Crystal Ball subreddit and there is a lot happening on there. So she had a little bit of a run-in with Nick Snyder, the viewer's voice on YouTube. So he said, just a question because I'm receiving a lot of comments about Without a Crystal Ball on my video. Why do you/people dislike her so much? I know why I don't, but it seems she's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Very true. Someone said, just about every channel I watch that involves drama has had a run-in with her. She attacks, claims they did the attacking, plays victims, spreads a false narrative. I don't like that kind of dishonesty. And then someone else said, because she is rude. She thinks she is funny, she flip-flops on literally everything, and many other reasons. I tried to watch her for a few months, but I ended up mad every time I did. I never heard of her until today, and she made a few comments that kind of says what kind of a person she is to me. I side-eyed her a few times. Not about the Tati, but just some comments were not my taste. She got my view, not my loyalty. I'm in recovery. Her making fun of addiction is disgusting and gross, especially when she has no idea about the hell I go through, both in active addiction and later on, to fight to get clean. She can get effed with a rusty broom for that and every other grimy thing she's done. That is in reference to her calling Nick Snyder a head, which just further shows the kind of person that she is. She has apparently apologized for that. Next, there was a run-in with Dustin Daly. Of course, just keep her going. She tweeted out saying, thanks to all the channels who have been crediting my work. This coverage has been a quest for truth, not what's popular. Many of these channels ridiculed me for exposing Tati Westbrook 18 months ago. Now we're using my work. Looking at you, Rich, Dustin, and Nick. Now, I don't know about Rich Lux. I know Dustin credited her, and I think Nick was petty in like a funny way. Obviously, I'm not shading Nick. I really do enjoy Nick. But he was like, I'm not going to give her credit because I don't endorse her as a human being. And I kind of agree with that. I credited her to spare myself the headache of having to deal with her. But in reality, she found public records. A lawsuit is a public record. Just because she found it doesn't mean we have to credit her. I was being nice. I credited her because I don't want to deal with the headache. I've had those headaches before. But Nick doesn't have to credit her. And Dustin was just nice enough to do that. Now, she makes it sound like none of them credited her. And then someone at Dustin Daly and says he did credit you in his video. And then someone else says, why do I feel like she knows that she's just trying to create drama and get attention? And she then backpedals and goes, this isn't about crediting. They all dragged me for speaking out against Tati last year. I was a tiny channel and they bullied me. So like, is it about the credit or is it not about the credit? Let's stop flip-flopping. Let's stop all of that. It's about the credit because that is literally the first sentence of your tweet. Now you got called out and now you're backpedaling. Also, 18 months ago, we did call you out for getting into Tati's birth certificate and James's lawsuits from 20 years ago. Yeah, that's creepy and we didn't endorse that. However, talking about a public lawsuit is completely fine. So apples and pears, like we don't, like what are you talking about? Dustin Daly then quote tweets her response and goes, girl, your attitude is shit. You make fun of addictions and your husband literally called Nikita a chick with a you want to go down this road. Katie versus Nick again. She then had a go at Nick for obviously not crediting her. So she goes, would it Nick Snyder to credit me for my work. He took my description, posted on his channel, took the court documents, but refused to say my name. I don't care if you don't like me, but please source me. Also, I was not tipped off by James Charles. Now, those court documents are not your property. Now, I had that same situation with another drama channel, not going to endorse anyone here, where they had a little bit of a hissy fit over public documents, public records that anyone can find. They don't belong to you. So no one has to credit you because they don't belong to you. Tati's lawsuit does not belong to you. So just because you found it doesn't mean it belongs to you. So we don't have to credit you because it's not your lawsuit. And even if it was your lawsuit, it is public records. So we once again don't have to credit you. I know he doesn't like me, but come on. He called me crazy and said I spent all my time searching. But you do spend all your time searching. I'm not calling you crazy. But you do spend all your time searching. I really haven't. I was tipped off by a source that knew I had covered her husband's fraud. Please source me. This is the second time he's taking my content from my channel with no credit. He's getting way more views of my work. Yes, because he's a bigger channel than you. Isn't that just shocking? At least credit me. It's like stealing when you watch my content, use my sources, do none of your own legwork, and then get paid for it. You're getting way more views than I do on this. Source me. I don't care that he gets more views on these topics, but you do care because the tweet before was you complaining about him getting more views than you. So like, what is this about? Katie, this is literally what his channel is about. I don't have the same kind of audience, but stop taking my work, using my screenshots, using my work, and not even directing people to my channel. But why would we direct people to your channel when you're this kind of a person? I should also note, Nick Snyder made a video about how I'm a terrible person for calling him a name, which I regretted, but in his recent video, he called me crazy. I don't think head and crazy are going to be put on the same standard for me. Can we not compare the two? Yeah, we shouldn't call people crazy. There's a weird stigma behind it to do with mental health and mental issues, and I'm trying to not call people crazy or trying to use crazy as some kind of an adjective for people because I think it does put a really poor stigma on people with mental health issues. But once again, crazy and head, not on the same level. Let's not try and make it sound like it's on the same level. So should I make a video about him? Nope, not worth it. But don't about name calling when you give it back. I also apologize to him publicly and privately for calling him that name. I didn't make a video out of it. And then she tweeted out saying I have him blocked because he used to tweet at me in such a rude manner. He's made videos saying he doesn't like me because I made a comment about him that wasn't nice and I did apologize for. We squashed it last year and he brought it back up weeks ago for views. And then he goes, 4 views. Oh my god. And then I was also on Twitter and everyone is talking about this because anyone that's ever had a run-in with Katie, which is from what I've interacted with on Twitter yesterday at night, is me, Nick Snyder, Dustin Daly, Rich, I'm assuming, a few other drama channels, but I haven't seen anyone really. I'm just mentioning the people that have actually been tweeting out about this. Then there was Ripzilla, Creepshow Art, a few smaller commentary channels. I think many people have had a run-in with her and she's been kind of mean to everyone. Like I've spoken to people in DMs before when I was having my situation with her and everyone has roughly the same story with her. So it's an ongoing issue, you know? Anyway, but then I think it was Creepshow Art that brought it to our attention that she's now paying for ads. Like, you know how Jeffree Star was paying for ads to put his videos on drama channel videos? She's now paying for ads, ad without a crystal ball, on the Tati video. Imagine being sued by Tati and then advertising your Tati video on other people's videos. Just blows my mind. I am mind blown. I'm not even mind blown. I'm losing my mind. Like, my mind is not blown, it is just lost. So then she was doing a live stream, which was the one that like, nothing's gonna change. Oh, my laptop's dying, God. I'm gonna go over it a tiny bit. There's really nothing interesting over there. So on that live stream, Keemstar actually came in and commented saying that he supports her. And the reason why he said he supports her is because he's been sued before. I think Romeo Lacoste sued him. Anyway, so he just said like, I support you without really knowing much of the situation. I think he just kind of felt bad for a smaller creator for being sued by a bigger creator, who clearly has more funds. Now I literally can't see anything. He did that. He put the support out there. Katie got very excited in her live stream because she was like, oh my god, big YouTuber. What I've noticed from her live streams is she likes to name drop a lot. So she was like, yeah, Keemstar's supporting me right now. Oh my god, yeah, it was Keemstar with like the check mark. And then she was like, yeah, me and Ethan H3H3 recently spoke and he's also going to support me. And then she mentioned Maddie Ziegler's mum. She was like, yeah, me and Maddie Ziegler's mum, Melissa, are like really close friends. I think she's going to like collab with me on my channel. She loves to like name drop. So Keemstar says he's going to support her because that's like the nice thing to do to a smaller creator. And then he finds out the ins and outs of this situation and the 180 turn that was taken here from Keemstar. So he posts a video on Twitter saying dear at without a crystal ball, and just to summarize it, he basically said that he at first wanted to support her because he as a creator has been sued before and he believes that commentators should be allowed to express opinions about people freely without being penalized for it, as long as those opinions are not facts, well, not presented as facts. And then he says that he found out a lot of information about Katie while looking into her, and he now takes his support back. He says that she lied, made false statements, that she's been harassing and stalking people. By people I mean Tati, and that he's just not okay with that. He thinks it's creepy and he's not going to support it. And she responds with, that's not true. So then she tweets out saying, I cannot answer questions or speak about anything other than say this. I deny all of the allegations in the lawsuit and my attorney is confident we will prevail. I cannot answer anything more at this time. And then she tweets out saying, despite Keemstar's claims that I have allegedly stalked people on YouTube, this is 100% false. I also have not filed lawsuits against anyone, nor have I harassed anyone. The allegations in this lawsuit are false, period. Now, I'm not sure if she has filed lawsuits before, but during the Sanders Kennedy situation, she has threatened to sue people.
Any case, though, after this interaction with Augie, Katie went on a live stream with a creator by the name of Unirock and said that she was going to report Augie RFC to YouTube as well as, quote, sue his ass, unquote. You can't report somebody for something just because you don't like it. Just because something paints you in a bad light doesn't give you grounds to sue somebody. But Katie, for a point in time there, was very much sue happy, is what I would call it.
Little Red, if you stream this onto your channel, you will get a copyright strike. Do not stream this onto your channel. I will strike your channel. You do not have permission, Little Red, to use any of this content. And if you do, I will be copyright striking you. You will also be hearing from my attorney that is not a threat. That is true. You will be part of a lawsuit. You have stolen my intellectual property repeatedly. And if you continue, we will be well, it's not even if you continue, we will be contacting you. So I have just put out all of the information about Beast Boy BX. I have done my best to remain extremely quiet about this because, first of all, I don't like to play into drama. I know people always say you're so dramatic and there's always drama around you. That's literally because for the past 14 months, I have been under a targeted harassment attack that has now taken me to a place where I am seeking legal action against the group that is doing this. All of them. Not just one, the group. My attorney has already reached out tonight to at least one of the parties involved. You need to check your DMs. They want to serve you with papers.
As if that's how business is conducted.
Maybe she hasn't filed lawsuits before, but she's definitely thrown that word around before. And now that it's being thrown at her, she's got an issue with it. And then she says, for the past 18 months on YouTube and Twitter, I have had bot and troll accounts stalking and harassing me. I've never been able to figure out who they were tied to and why these small channels continually cropping up, coming at me sideways for no reason. But it all started in May 2019. So she's insinuating it started around the By Sister time. It has been relentless for basically my existence on YouTube, which has made many say I'm all about drama. However, the sheer number of these accounts and the daily attacks have been hard to deal with and no one believed me. I finally have people seeing this today. Thank you. I have no idea if these accounts are connected, where they're coming from, or if they're all working together. But the relentless targeting of these fake accounts and then small channels making exposed videos about me weekly has been my life for 18 months. But isn't that what you do to bigger channels? Just wondering. I am not at all implying anyone is behind any of these accounts. Again, I can only say when it started and what has happened. This is just what I've been experiencing. And then she says, despite the very exciting and salacious details of the lawsuit, the allegations against me in the lawsuit are 100% false and without merit. She's repeated that about 1,000 times now. The allegations that I have potentially 100 defendants that are trolls and interfering in her business is 100% false and absolutely without merit. I have never conspired with anyone nor interfered in any aspect of her business, but her tweet now says that the only people that can reply is people that she follows, so that's... And then she says, thank you Nick Snyder and Dustin Daly for your videos on me. I've gained hundreds of subs today. Who say Dustin and Nick sent me, but I unsubscribed from them for being petty. I support you. And then she also tweets out saying that any creator that makes commentary videos must know that this could be you. It could be you. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. That's a lie, because we don't make content the way you do. I don't make 5,000 streams a day about the same person trying to dig up their personal information, like their birth certificates and lawsuits from the past and weird stuff from before they were YouTubers. I'm not like that. I don't think me and you are the same, and I think if you get sued, that has no implications on me or any other drama channels. She's now deactivated her Twitter account, and that is that for the receipts that I have. In the lawsuit, just a quick rundown, it said that she is referred to as a troll. She's accused of doxing. It says that she has an obsession with them, so there are multiple streams a day at sometimes, you know, about Tati and the whole situation. They also mentioned the views that she got on those videos as like a collective. States that she found James's criminal charges from as young as when he was a teenager. States that if Katie did actual research on the James versus sister stuff, she would know that the sister was actually excluded from the inheritance years before that lawsuit even happened. Which is what I mean by just because there was a certain judgment made in a court case does not mean that you know the whole backstory behind that court case. And then they also mentioned that there is much more false info and that it all kind of seems malicious because she does have this little bit of a vendetta against Tati, or it kind of seems like she does. So that's kind of like the rough proof that they have in the lawsuit. They mention a lot of videos, like they title them So they have them probably, and just many other things. Then she did that video where she said that this channel will keep going. The dislikes are really bad. The comments are turned off. She says that she has no plans of stopping what she's doing within the first 10 seconds of the video. She says that this is a positive community. I would have to disagree. She says that she always makes sure to let people know to not go and attack people that she talks about, but isn't that what she does? So if you do that, your audience will do that as well. She then also says something like, in a world of opinions, everyone's allowed to have one. Yes, we're allowed to have opinions, but we're not allowed to present them as fact. She says that overall she thinks she'll be fine, and if people want to drag her to filth, that's fine. Her attorney's in the live chat, and he's messaging. How about we focus on the lawsuit and not on the live stream? She mentions freedom of speech. She mentions how all of her opinions are based on facts and all of that stuff. She mentions censorship and how this could be a precedent for other YouTubers for being sued. I don't think that's the case. Even if Tati was successful with this, I don't think that would impact us in any way, shape, or form, unless we decided to do 5,000 streams a day about James Charles. Then yes, maybe. Or if I was trying to dig up and pay for personal information about James Charles, message his neighbor, I don't know, call up his school, talk to his teachers, then yeah, I probably have a case, but I don't do any of that, so I think I'll be fine. Anyway, that's all I have for today. If you guys have any opinions about any of this, let me know. Comment down below. Anything you want to comment down below. Subscribe, because I post videos whenever something happens. Hit that bell. You'll be notified whenever that occurs. Social media links, second channel, any other links in description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.